All right, Twitter, X, you know I love you, and I love to have conversations. But you're going to have to trust me because I know what I'm talking about most of the time. Long discussion on this play yesterday with Anthony Richardson. And so let's just talk through how protections work. And I know at the end of the day, people are like, well, he only brought 4 guys. Pick up those 4 guys because you got 5 blocking him. That's just not how it works most of the time. So here is how an empty protection works. And I actually like the way that Indianapolis is doing this because there's a number of teams that will do it just the opposite. But let me talk you through it, okay? So we've got 3 wide receivers we have 3 wide receivers to this side and just 2 to this side. Okay, so I'm a believer that when you're going empty protection, that you always want to slide away from the 3 receivers. Okay, why do we want to slide away from the 3 receivers? I'll show you a little bit more when we get to the wide copy. But because what normally happens is you've got 2 guys running quick routes, or you can build in 2 hot routes off of these 3 guys most of the time. So if you're going to be hot, it puts the pressure on the defense to have to cover these 2 guys with usually 1 guy dropping down if they're bringing pressure to that side. If you're doing it the other way and they bring pressure, you usually only have 1 hot guy to that side. So it's very easy for the defense to drop 1 guy down and cover the 1 hot guy, and it puts the quarterback in a bind. So I love sliding away from the 3 receivers because it puts the pressure back on the defense. Okay, what does that mean, sliding away from the 3 receivers? What that simply means is that what I want you to notice is there's basically 4 down linemen right here. Okay, so what we say in protections is we got 5 guys protecting. Okay, so what we tell the offensive line is the first thing we always want to do is go big on big. Okay, so some way, shape, or form, we want our 5 offensive linemen to at least block these 4 defensive linemen because those are the guys that are going to be rushing most of the time. Then what you're going to see is we've got 5 and 6. So we've got 6 guys in the box right here. We can't block all 6 of them. We've only got 5 guys blocking, so we can't block all 6 of them. So who do we want to go to? Do we want to go to number 5 or do we want to go to number 6? We've got to go to one or the other. So we're either sliding to the 3 receiver side, meaning we would slide to number 6, or we're sliding away from the 3 receiver side, which means we would slide to number 5. Okay, so in this particular case, the Colts are going to slide to number 5. So what that means is we're going to go 1, and then these 2 guys are going to probably go in some combination here. They're going to go to 2 and 5, okay? He's going to go to number 3 right here, and now the offensive tackle has what we call a big duel, okay? So technically he's going out there to number 4, but if number 6 blitzes here, he's going to try to decipher who's the most dangerous, who's got the cleanest run to the quarterback, or oftentimes squeeze the inside and force the guy furthest away to be the hot guy and a guy that we can negotiate a little bit better as a defensive end as opposed to a linebacker coming in our face. So that's what happens on this particular play. I love it. They're doing everything right from a protection standpoint in terms of how I would want it done. Okay, so let's play it here, see how it plays out. Ball is snapped. What do we see? Boom. Okay. He's holding here. He's holding here. Okay, so they're holding those 2 gaps. This guard goes there, and you see the big duel right here. He feels this guy is more of a threat than the outside guy. You can always argue that, well, maybe he's coming from depth. And if he's coming from depth and you feel the outside guy is more dangerous, he can go to the outside guy. But that's on the fly. He's got to make a decision as a quarterback. All good either way because I know what's probably going to happen, and more importantly, I've got to know that if this guy comes over here, that I'm technically hot. Okay, some teams will bring number 32 or the number 6 guy inside, and they'll peel this guy. Okay, so then the squeeze works perfectly. We squeeze it, we go to throw hot off of number 90 over here, he peels off on the back, I'm all good, we've got everything protected, we are good to go. But in this case, they bring everybody, we squeeze, this becomes my hot guy. So with AR, what he's always got to do is he's got to understand what is the slide from the protection standpoint. Like, who are we going to? We could easily do this the other way. And as I said, there's a lot of teams that will do this the other way because they say, hey, your primary read is going to be out on this side, so we want your hot to be to your primary read. So if that was the case, we would do this. Okay, so we got 3-on-3 backside. We would go here, and now this guy would have the big duel to this side, and we would be hot technically off of this linebacker coming to the weak side if we wanted to go that direction. Okay, so that's the protection part of it. All right, now we're going to go to the wide copy. Okay, so once again, I want you to see. Now, a lot of people will say, well, hey, read the safeties. Well, the safeties are doing a great job. They're in a quarters look, so this safety could come down. This safety could come down. Both these guys are topped. There's a guy in position to cover both of them, so we don't really have any indication, okay? And here's the next aspect to it, right? Is notice we have 6 in the box. Okay, we can only block 5 of those. We've also got an extra guy over here. So in this particular look, AR would actually be hot to both sides. This guy comes, I'm hot. This guy comes, I'm hot. So this is where it gets really tough for a quarterback, is that he's got hots on both sides. I know that those 4 guys are blocked. I'm not worried about what anybody does in there, or I shouldn't be. And then I've got to worry about the possibility right here, and then the possibility on the front side right here. But the closest threat, the nearest threat, is going to be the front side here. But it does make it tough because he's got to look at both sides. Okay, on the snap, there's a couple indicators, but normally we don't look at safeties to determine where the pressure is coming from. We don't usually have time to be able to go, hey, let me look at this back safety. Oh, he rotates to the middle. Now I better get my eyes to the right to see if this guy's coming. When we're in a hot situation, we've got to come out and get our eyes on the hot guy right now. So I've got to get my eyes on this guy right now in this situation. And then I can work back to the backside and figure it out from there. But that guy's the most dangerous. I got to get my eyes on him, okay? What the Colts do is they do a nice job here is they've got 2 quick, hot throws to this side, okay? So what happens is they're going to bring this pressure, okay? So they're going to drop the safety down. So it's one of 2 things, is either this backside linebacker has to get all the way over here and steal this, which is really hard, or this safety's got to come down and somehow cover that hook and that flat. It's impossible. And that's why I like to slide away from my 3 receiver side, because I get 2 quick options here, which is tough for the defense to cover. Okay, so there it is. Got to have his eyes over to this side. He's got to peek and understand whether he's got a hot here. Okay, so now he's got to negotiate the defensive end. So look at this right here. We've got 2 quick, easy throws to that side. There they are. Neither one of them are covered. Easy, you got to negotiate number 90. Might have to take a hit right here, but you've got to be aware of where your hots are in any given situation. 6 in the box. I got to peek the front side first. Everything else to me was done exactly right. And now I've got to be able to get that throw out the front side and be aware of the possible pressure. I know they only bring 4 guys because they pop this guy out, but you can't ask these 5 guys to decipher everything that's going on. You can't ask them to slide left first to protect against the backside, but then if those guys don't come, slide all the way back here and take a linebacker coming to this side. So that's why there's people on here that were just saying, well, why not just slide it to the right? Well, because it's the same to both sides. To both sides, we've got 3 defenders. Oh, we've got 3 defenders on both sides. So nobody knows what's happening here. We don't know which side they're going to bring the pressure on. So we've got to choose to protect one side over the other. Hey, we're choosing to protect the backside because we have 2 quick throws to the front side. Perfect. Exactly what I would do. Now there's pressure. Now we got to get it out, and we got to win on these situations because it was there. The play was there for the offense to win. AR's just got to be a little more aware of what are we doing with the different protections? Where are we sliding? who's my most dangerous guy that I got to get my eyes on first?